Hello, hello. Morning, everybody. Thank you for joining our webinar this morning. Today, we're going to get into some topics around helping you get the most out of Service Manager. Glad everyone could make it. So, first off, before I introduce the presenters, there's three of us on the Cireson side this morning. We are using the Teams Q&A feature for today's webinar. Feel free to engage that tool to ask us any questions that you have about the subject matter that we're getting into. As always, when we do these, sometimes those questions might be better suited for a private conversation. You can say so in your question if you'd like to keep it private. Other questions might be a little bit more involved for us to answer sort of during the course of the session. If that's the case, we'll reach out afterwards, maybe even ask to set up a meeting. But either way, our goal is to make sure that your questions are answered as we go through the content. So just keep that in mind. In terms of who's on the session today, my name is Joel Doss. I'm the Director of Sales here with Cireson. Been with the company for about 11 years. Wear a number of hats between, helping new customers understand our products and services, working with existing customers around, matters you might describe as customer success, making sure that they know where their resources are on our side. Really, it's just about helping, our customers get the most out of Microsoft technology with respect to ITSM processes. So also have Adam Dezaki with our product group. Adam, I don't know if you wanted to tack on a few comments about yourself.
Yeah, sure thing. My name is Adam Dezaki. I'm the Director of Product here at Cireson, and been here for a few years now, and I'm responsible for our roadmap, as well as all the features and fixes that you see actually go out with SMP and our apps.
Thanks, Adam. And
last
last but not least, Jeff.
Yeah, hi everybody. I'm Jeff, part of the customer success team here at Cireson. Really excited to be on today's webinar. See a lot of names I recognize in the session here, so welcome everybody. Great to see you. Those of you that know me know I'm very passionate about Service Manager. I've worked with it for well over a decade, and I love it. And yeah, just excited to talk about it today.
I mean, me too.
All right. Okay. So agenda, cover the introductions. We want to make sure that, regardless of your, sort of situation, where to engage, where our resources available are to get the most out of our solutions. So we're going to get into some resources around leveling up your Service Manager skills. If you're new to Service Manager, or maybe you've been using it for a long time and could use a refresher on how to get the most out of this solution. We're going to go over some resources for you on that. Also, we're going to talk about, the process of getting current using the latest and greatest, so to speak. It's not uncommon at all with Service Manager being an on-premise product. Some of our customers fall out of date a little bit. Maybe some are still on 2019. Probably not 2016 as much anymore, but there's a 2012 before that. So we're going to talk about, what it takes to make sure that you're current and why you might want to do that. We're going to recap some updates just around System Center 2025, getting some specifics on what's come from Microsoft. We're also going to cover some recap around maybe more recent additions to the Cireson platform that maybe not all customers are aware of, especially if you haven't updated yet. And then we're also going to get into just ways that we could help. If you'd like to engage us to help you get current, help you improve your processes, whatever that looks like. We're also going to make a little bit of a nod to a cloud first option from Cireson at the end, but the core of today's focus is definitely Service Manager. So I see a lot of familiar names on the attendee list and the registration link from today. So I think most of you know who Cireson is, but I also see some unfamiliar names. So quick recap on who we are and what services we provide in the market. I guess first and foremost, you could probably say that we're a Microsoft partner. Everything that we do involves Microsoft technology, whether it be on-premise or in the cloud. So we're very well known for our platform that attaches to Service Manager. That's always been a popular product. Service Manager is well described as kind of like the nerve center of the system center stack, allows you to integrate with AD. SCSM is the back end of our product in many ways. That's how we think about it. Config man is part of that conversation, orchestrator. But we're also a cloud provider. We have a solution called Ticket, which natively integrates with Teams, lives in M365, allows you to take advantage of Intune, Power BI, Power Automate, Entra, and really in 2025 we're about enabling customers to deliver ITSM solutions to their end users, whether that be in an on-premise capacity or in the cloud. And we have about 700 plus global customers right now, and growing. And that's just I guess a recap on who we are. So now for today's session. Why Service Manager? Why the Cireson portal? So Service Manager is a powerful on-premise option that allows our customers to achieve enterprise caliber ITSM as well as asset management solutions. It's stable, it's customizable, it's independent from cloud dependencies. We provide a portal that allows both analysts and users to easily engage the system. So if end users can request help from IT easily, analysts can leverage the web portal to kind of fill in the gaps with maybe what you don't get out of Service Manager out of box. I mentioned the system center stack. Most of you know that. Our product sits on top of Service Manager and it's a very kind of complete story and across the system center stack solutions. And one of the things that customers have always liked about it, being on-prem, it's extensively customizable, allows really any unique process to be met. So a lot of flexibility in addition to the power there. So with that said, I'm going to turn it over to Jeff for some additional insights around resources available.
Thanks, Joel. So as we know, lots of us on the call, as Joel just highlighted there, Service Manager is very powerful, a lot of flexibility, configurable to do pretty much anything around your ITSM or ITAM solutions. But being an on-premise technology, that does require a reasonable amount of administration, and that can be hard and require some skills and some knowledge. We do hear quite a bit from customers, asking questions about how can I maintain this? How can I update this? I want to make this change. How do I do it? And Cireson has a lot of resources out there to help. So I want to just take a few minutes, highlight those. I've got 4 to talk about. Just want to make sure that everyone on this call is aware of what's out there, because they're all very, very useful. So starting off with the Cireson community, is our online sort of forum to ask questions around Service Manager and the Cireson technology that sits on top of it. It's any kind of question is acceptable there, and by asking a question there, you get the benefit of the Cireson team engaging with you and answering, but also the wider community is on there as well. So you get other customers, other experts outside of Cireson employees as well helping out, and particularly with other customers, it might be that someone else has hit that same problem, something that's a bit more of a kind of real world challenge that we might not be quite so able to answer here, and another customer would actually give you a really good answer. So yeah, really great resource to make use of it. It looks like this, which is a new fresh look. For anyone who's used the community for any of the previous, I want to say 9, maybe 8 years that it's existed, well, early in January we gave it a refresh, a new look and feel, same content. So all the stuff's been migrated. Your user and your profile's been migrated if you have one on the old site. You just need to reset your password if you haven't done that already, and you can access that community.cireson.com and make use of that. The next one is Cireson e-learning. Particularly if you're newer to looking after Service Manager in Cireson, you've been handed it, you sort of didn't know really where to start, then make use of the e-learning. It's a really, really great resource out there, completely free. You need to register an account to access it, but that's all. You just need to sign up, basically. No credit card or anything required, completely open, completely free, and there's some really good content on there, all in video content, all broken up into little chapters and lessons with little quizzes at the end to really help build your understanding and knowledge around how Service Manager works, how the Cireson portal works, the other Cireson apps. So yeah, definitely use that. If you're, as I say, if you're kind of new to it all, you're not quite sure where to start, watch the lot. I mean, it's all good. But also, if, I know obviously everyone's busy these days. If you need to, you can just browse the catalog, pick the bits you want, pick the lessons that are relevant for you as well. So you can consume it any way you like. It looks like this. So you just jump here, hit login, and then if you haven't got a login, you can register an account. The third one is the Cireson knowledge base. I hope that most people are familiar with this, but again, just want to make sure that we're all aware. This is our formal documentation for our products. It looks like this, and here you can find information on everything and anything. We have literally thousands of articles around tips and tricks, how to get things working, how to install things, how to maintain things. So search there, and you'll find, no doubt, you'll find the answers you're looking for on our KB. And the final one is our professional services. So we do have a professional services team that's part of the customer success function. So if you're looking for particular technical expertise, or you're looking for quick help, you haven't got time to go and do that learning yourself, you want something done, built, upgraded, configured, tweaked, customized, then we do have a team of experts on hand to deliver any kind of project. No project is too big or too small. And you can find out more information on the website under the services section. So yeah, finally then, with all that information on board, you've watched all the e-learning, you've read the entire knowledge base, you've asked a lot of questions in the community. Great, all good stuff. Well, where do you go next? And again, I hear from customers that they are not sure how to, keep working with their ITSM. Part of ITIL, if you subscribe to that, is about continual improvement. We're always looking to improve things. Well, where do we go next? And we tend to see those fall into two areas. People are looking for more performance, or they're looking for more functionality. And I got some sort of suggested next steps for you if you want to improve your Service Manager experience, take it to the next level, improve the what you're delivering to your end users. If you're looking for more performance, then it's a simple one. It's an obvious one, but it's certainly a quick win. Increase your resources. The specs, the recommended specs from Microsoft do keep increasing. If you're running on older servers that were spec'd 4 or 5 years ago, then it might be that just a bump up in CPU and memory can really help speed up the solution, get a better experience for your end users. Or you could look at scaling horizontally with some load balancing across some of those resources. If you're looking for more functionality, if you're sort of missing something that your end users, your business is asking for, well, there's lots of ways to achieve that. You could build a custom solution inside Service Manager or Cireson Portal, both very extensible, customizable tools. Lots of examples on the community of how you can get started with that. Make sure you check out the full range of Cireson apps. There's some newer things, particularly that you may not be aware of, that can add quite a lot of cool functionality. I'm thinking Cloud Connector, Cloud Activity, Notification Activity, are sort of newer concepts, but also there's been new features added to some of the existing ones over the years. So make sure you've got all of and the latest versions of some of the Cireson apps beside the portal and the portal itself to give you all the latest functionality. And finally, just check your configuration. There might be something just turned off. Have a look in the features section of the Cireson portal. There's a load of extra things you need to toggle on manually you may not be aware of. Have a look at the add-in section. There's some extra functionality you can actually download and import and toggle those on as well. So there's lots of things you can add without having to write code, just by turning them on and adding them into your setup there. Finally, if you're kind of looking at both those areas, you want to increase your performance, you want to increase your functionality, then upgrade or migration is always a good option as well. A way to get onto the latest versions of all the technology, be it the OS, SQL, Service Manager, Self, and all the Cireson applications. And a way to review all of your setup, configuration, all of your content, all of your processes. Then you can look at either an upgrade or migration, try and tackle both those things in one project. I think that leads us on to the next slide.
I think it does. Oops, looks like there we go, video. So let me take control, because that brings us over then to obviously System Center 2025, which released in November. So Microsoft pushed out System Center 2025. This includes, as you've probably come to expect up until this point, all of the obviously System Center components. Of course, we're fans of Service Manager, but Operations Manager, Orchestrator, VMM, DPM, all those products are there with 2025 releases. Now, with that said, apart from the significance of having a 2025 release, is also then what comes next is, well, what does that mean for then some of our other versions of System Center? And also, what does that mean for then patches, fixes, as well as like features inside of System Center? So if I feel like probably you're familiar with saying this at this point, but if you're not, System Center 2016 is actually going to hit is going to be out of extended support as of January 2027. So you still got 2 years if you're still on 2016. System Center 2019 is now technically in extended support. And again, it'll be past 2027, but for now it's hit extended support. And System Center 2022 is, well, within mainstream support because it's a fairly recent release. Now, obviously, System Center does follow kind of like rather closely with Windows Server releases. So it goes without saying, or it should go without saying, that is like as we see new releases of Windows Server, we usually have like very close by, if not immediate releases of System Center to support those respective OSs. Now, with that underlying framework, though, with the code changes and SDK changes that actually happen within System Center throughout these releases, means that we here at Cireson obviously have well, our own level of responsibility to make sure that our apps are then compatible with those new versions of System Center, and that, well, we continue to make sure that they are as performant as they can possibly be. So version 12.2.6 released about a month or so ago, and that's in our latest lane. It came with about, I believe, 20-something fixes, and kind of a theme of it, as well as a lot of our the last several releases we have been around performance, is making the Cireson Service Manager portal as performant as possible. And it bleeds into the next point / feature / how things have changed in the Cireson Service Manager portal. And specifically that comes with this concept of archiver. So where the Cireson Service Manager portal does everything it can to make Service Manager as performant as it possibly can, and as accessible as can be, what the archiver has done, and what we have done with the archiver, is taken steps to make the Service Manager data warehouse as performant as it can possibly be. And by doing so, actually removing the need and the reliance on the Microsoft Service Manager data warehouse. I want to be clear. I've said this a million times before. the data warehouse is a fantastic product. It has a wealth of data inside of it. There's a couple things that it doesn't have. It doesn't keep file attachments. It doesn't keep kind of like the rich history around work items. And what's more, you can't surface anything from the data warehouse inside of the Service Manager portal. So with the archiver, what we did is we took steps to essentially build a data warehouse of sorts for the Cireson Service Manager portal and in turn Service Manager, and allow you to visualize old groomed work items out of Service Manager, whether they're 2 years old, 5 years old, 10 years old, directly inside of the portal, and being able to pull back file attachments as well from those groomed work items. And what we actually have coming up next, and we're working on with a host of effort associated with it, is the ability to then start saving relationships, config items, and config item history into the archive, so that regardless of your retention settings inside of Service Manager, we're going to let you save everything off into the archive and then pull it back up into the Cireson portal to visualize all of it. And I should add that this also goes by groomed, whether it be a groomed work item or a groomed config item. We want to be able to, again, present all of that directly inside of the portal. Also, some updates that we have coming are around Cloud Connector. We want to introduce more endpoints for config items such as hardware assets, but also just generic config items as well. And then endpoints for activities. So those are some of the things that we have coming up. Yeah, I think that actually kind of wraps things up for me. So I'll pass this over to Joel next.
Thank you, Adam. As always, appreciate it. Yeah, so Jeff touched on a lot of this. I would just say, if you're a Cireson customer already, you already know we always welcome an opportunity. To set up meetings. We want to engage with you. We want to take any opportunity to get to know you better, get to know your organization's requirements and needs better. Any challenges that you might be experiencing, we want to hear about them. Happy to sort of brainstorm on maybe some low-hanging fruit that you can do from your side to help improve Service Manager's performance, or just the general quality of your service delivery to the business. But as Jeff also alluded to, we're kind of a big part of our DNA is consulting services. No project is too big or too small. We're all ITIL process experts. We work with customers around Service Manager and Cireson assessments, even assessing whether maybe our cloud option ticket is a better fit going forward or at some point in the future. We help customers design, implement our solutions. We can come in and perform what we refer to as a health check. Just go through sort of a punch list of items that allow us to let you know if maybe an upgrade or a migration is a good fit going forward. We can help out with customizations, just because Service Manager is so extensible and customizable. It's not too far out of bounds to say that practically anything you want to achieve is achievable. We can help out with more advanced automations. We can even help with managed services, training engagements, ongoing support. So don't hesitate to raise your hand if you'd like to set up a conversation to talk about any and all ways that we might be able to help you.
Joel, if I could just jump in as well, actually, because I did it, and you also mentioned upgrades and migrations. Both of us did that, and I just wanted to quickly just expand on that a little bit, because there's two kind of options for customers. If you want to get onto the new versions, 2025, as we talked about, because those end of life dates are getting ever closer or past in certain cases. There's the two options for you: upgrade or migration. And really, in terms of which one to go for, I think it's generally a case-by-case discussion. And as we said, please, we'd love to have a chat with you. We welcome that. But as a kind of rule of thumb, just to help you all, I would say if you're happy with your setup, performance is good, functionality is good, everything's working, all your processes are nice, and you just need to get on newer supported versions, then in-place upgrade is a great way to do that. However, if you're not there, and you're struggling with understanding what you've got through previous admins, or things aren't quite aligned to your business because things change and Service Manager hasn't been changed to align to it, then a side-by-side migration is a great opportunity to get on the new versions, but also to realign any settings, processes, configurations as well by building up a new instance side by side and then migrating over configuration and content that you want, but leaving behind configuration and content that you don't want, that's no longer fit for purpose, and then sort of redefining that in the new place. So two options, both good. It really depends on where you are with your current setup.
Cool. Thanks, Jeff. Appreciate that.
Thanks.
Okay. Almost reached the end of the session here. I mentioned at the top that in 2025 we're a mixture of an on-premise provider as well as a cloud provider. We do have this solution called Ticket, which is an M365 product, built for teams, hosted in the Microsoft Cloud. Really excels in easy deployment. Obviously seamless integration with M365. Very strong as a multi-department solution. Just the nature of the beast living within Teams and Microsoft 365. We found a lot of our customers are rolling Ticket out beyond just IT, HR, facilities, finance, etc. It's a good solution, obviously, if you are more cloud aligned than on-prem aligned. It's a omni-channel experience for agents and end users. So, there's a role for Teams, there's a role for email, there's a web portal, there's also a chatbot, and AI-driven ticket deflection is one of the main sort of like value propositions of the solution. Obviously, everybody out there has got AI functionality on their mind to some degree, and if that's the case for anyone on this call, Ticket is probably worth discussing. On that note, there's also an AI conversation to be had around Service Manager that I think Jeff is prepared to add some additional comments on.
Yeah, thanks, Joel. If some of that stuff on that previous slide around Ticket is interesting to you, around AI, deflection, chatbots, but you're not necessarily in that place where your cloud strategy is ready for a fully SaaS solution like Ticket, or you still enjoy the many benefits of Service Manager, then integration is an option. By using some of those features in Ticket as a back end for this functionality, through a custom experience, we can deliver some of that into Service Manager, into the Cireson portal. It's a bespoke kind of conversation, so we're talking, a bespoke solution in this way. But all these kind of things we see on the slide here are possible by using the back end of Ticket and integrating that into Cireson portal. So if you're looking for end users to be able to create tickets through chatting in Teams, if you're looking for ways to deflect those sort of FAQs, those commonly asked things, if you're looking for more of a kind of ask me what you want and I'll tell you which offering to use rather than browsing through the catalog based on natural language, then all those things are possible. All those options are available to you through that. So again, we'd love to have that conversation with you. If that's interesting to you, then put a question in the Q&A or let us know some other way and we can discuss that.
Perfect. Thanks, Jeff. Yeah, so we've reached the end of the session right on time, looks like. So as always, we can be reached at team@cireson.com if you have any questions at all. If you want to take us up on that offer to get a Teams meeting together, talk about any questions you have, help advise on the best strategy going forward, please let us know, and you'll hear from us. But yeah, certainly appreciate the time. Have a good day, everybody.